One of the things that I've been pursuing and working on over the last few weeks is a book. I'm happy to say we have finally decided on a book title. My publisher and I have agreed that the book will be called Beyond the Shallows, and the subtitle is Life is Better in the Deep End. And so I'm going to use a little bit of, thank you very much. We're going to be using that theme a little bit, and I'm going to talk kind of as a precursor to the book about how the Bible pushes us into deeper relationship with Jesus. In order to start that, I want to tell you a little story. I was so happy. One person came up to me and said that they actually read the e-update with my little blurb in it, and a couple people are laughing, which tells me the percentages of you guys who read the blurb, because I hinted at a story that I am going to share with you now. Kate, who does our email, got onto me because she said it sounded like the beginning of Finding Nemo, and but it was a true story. When I was about 11 or 12 years old, I don't really remember which, my family took a vacation to the Florida Keys, and the uncommon thing that we did, we did this on one vacation. We spent about a year over the course of a couple of summers. We learned how to use fins and masks and snorkels to go snorkeling. And we rented a boat, and we went down to the Keys, and we had the boat for one day to go snorkeling down in the Keys. It was an amazing experience, and I've got a lot of other stories. But the coolest thing that happened was we got the boat very early in the morning and drove with the boat for 5 miles off the coast of Key Largo to a specific snorkeling and diving spot. And we parked our boats. We were the first one there, and my dad climbs down the ladder of the boat, and there, right in front of his face, is a barracuda with the underbite and the sharp teeth just feet away from his face, looking right at him. He very cautiously climbed back up the ladder and into the boat. There were some jokes thrown around about my grandmother and mother-in-laws and somebody being thrown into the water, which I won't go into now, but we just decided we were going to triple check that we had nothing shiny on us. Other boats came, people started getting in the water, everything seemed fine, and so we very cautiously climbed down the ladder, and that barracuda stayed right there, feet away from the ladder where we had to climb in and out of the boat for the entire time that we were at that location. I'm happy to report when we got back to the dock, we started talking to some people, and they were like, "Oh yeah, that's Bubba." We're like, "Bubba? You guys didn't tell us about this?" And he said, "No, he hates the sunshine. He finds the first boat that comes, parks underneath it because he likes the shade." And so we were scared for no reason whatsoever. Now, what we were going to see, the specific dive spot where, and this is how I'll tie it into the sermon, the dive spot we went to is called Christ of the Abyss, and I've got an image of this thing. It is a giant 4,000-pound bronze statue of Jesus that is submerged 5 miles off the coast of Key Largo. And it is there for you to go and visit and to hang out with. And Jesus' hand there is about 10 feet under the water. And so I would swim over right above the statue of Jesus, take really, really, really deep breaths, and dive down and go. And I remember vividly in my mind just holding Jesus' hand for as long as I could before I had to swim back up to the surface and catch another breath. And what I realized was it wasn't long before scuba divers came. And they were going not just around Jesus, but all throughout the reefs in the area. And I realized very quickly that I was kind of jealous, because as much training as I had, as much effort as I could put into my snorkeling expertise as a 12-year-old, there was a better experience to be had with Jesus if you could go a little bit deeper and if you had the right gear. And isn't that just true of our lives? We just look at our lives, and on the surface level, it's like, I just really want to be deep with Jesus, and I'm trying really hard, and I'm working really hard, and I'm actually doing the right things. I'm taking the deep breaths. I have some of the right gear, but there just seems to be a limit to how deep I can go and how long I can stay there. And so if you've ever felt like that, and I think all of us feel like that in the seasons of our life, I'm going to talk a little bit this morning about how we need to expect to see discipline come out of our lives, not as just a thing that we force, but as fruit that is produced. And we get that fruit by having the right equipment and the right training in order to be able to go deeper with Jesus and stay in the deep end longer with him. Can we go there this morning? Yeah. Sure. All right.